Okay, so the boys put something out a couple days ago. This is a Rich story. Rich told the boys a story on kind of consensual, and because it's Rich telling the story, you know it's gonna be good. Apparently, this is like an absolutely batshit insane uh missing child story. Give the fact that it's on kind of consensual and based on the thumbnail, I don't believe that this will end poorly. Something tells me this may end in laughter. So, excuse me. So let's take a look. It's Rich. We're gonna get a good laugh.
We had a missing. This ends well. All right. We had a missing person the other day. He's 14 and he's autistic, and
Fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, and fuck, and fuck, and fuck, and fuck, and fuck, and fuck. 9 seconds in, this has already hit me right in the feels. This just hit me right in the it's personal. Oh, shit. 14 years old and autistic? I imagine this is really going to hit Eli too. This is if Eli, yeah, he said it ends well. He prefaced it with it ends well. So I'm not terrified that there's that something bad has happened to this child, but already this is hitting me right in the heart, and I imagine it's going to do the same to Eli. Yes, if you have seen this, where's my? Oh my God, I can't believe I can't find that. Oh God, you have to fix it. Oh yeah, if you've seen this, no spoilers. This goes for any video. No spoilers if you've seen anything. Well, yeah, I imagine this is going to hit Eli pretty hard too.
he wanders around a lot, but oftentimes he'll find his way back home. This time he didn't. So it's a 14-year-old. He's autistic, all right, and he hasn't come home. He's walked away. He's got nothing, right?
Yep.
So it's an issue, right? It's an all hands on deck kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
we start putting out, hey, let's look for this kid. We put out a physical description of him. The next thing that we do, right, before like an Amber Alert is even thought of, right? The next thing that we do is we gather a photo and we get the information of the child, what he was currently wearing.
Yeah.
And then
facial expression. Yeah. Standard missing persons. What was he wearing? Physical attributes, hair color, hairstyle if it's prevalent, eye color, and considering he's autistic, you're going to want to put out that he's autistic. Any triggers that might facilitate him running. If a loud noise might make him run, or if he has an issue with physical contact, like with it being an autistic child, there's a lot more information that you're going to want to try and gather to put out to the public beyond the normal missing persons. Because with an autistic person, there is potentially a myriad of what's the word I'm looking for? Compounding factors when it comes to an autistic person, particularly if they're severely autistic. If they're severely autistic, loud noises, bright lights, physical contacts, all could make them bolt or attack. Either or, they could bolt or they could attack. David, he said it ends well. He said it ends positively, so we keep that in mind. And in answer to the question that was asked, Garrett, he is military reserves, and yes, active Buffalo SVU detective.
And some other information to help describe the kid, places that he goes, and then we put it out on our social media and say, hey, channel local news, put this out on your social media. We're putting it out on our social media. City of Buffalo, adjoining cities, look for this kid.
Yeah.
So one of the detectives goes to, the kid's house because, it's out of patrol's hands now. They need SVU detectives to help find this missing person.
Sure.
And the SVU detective's like, okay, cool. He's 14 years old. All right, he's got autism. All right, do you have a photo? Can we use a photo to put on social media? They're like, yes, absolutely. They're like, sweet. Give me the photo. Do you have a digital one, or I can take one You can send it to me. And they're like, yeah, hold on.
Okay.
We don't have one.
What?
What?
And
What?
the SVU detective is like, you don't have one what? And they're like, we don't have a photo of our 14-year-old kid. And they're like, okay. What about grandma? Let's call grandma.
Are they
Grandma,
fucking
come over
Amish?
here in the room.
Yeah, like, what family doesn't have a photo of their 14-year-old child? Okay, but Cortana's, a current photo, acceptable, but you maybe have a somewhat recent photo, do you, Cortana's? Like, maybe even from 1 year ago? I would imagine you would have a photo from, like, a photo of your son from, like, maybe a year ago. Not necessarily current, but just, like, a reasonably recent photo. No, War God? Even a poor family, last time he took photos of me was when he was 12. And he's 17. Really, Cortanus? Okay. All right.
How the
No.
fuck don't you have a photo of your kid?
No. So mom and dad don't have a photo of their 14-year-old kid. They're like, grandma, come here. Do you got a photo on your phone of the 14-year-old kid?
Nope.
No. There's no photo of the 14-year-old child.
Oh, boy.
Hold on. The most recent photo they have of said 14-year-old child.
When it's 9.
Guess how old he is?
9.
Four.
Oh, God. 4.
Two.
He's
Oh.
4.
Oh,
The
my
most recent photo they
God.
have of said 14-year-old child
Oh, my
is when he's
God.
from 4 years old. So I get
CPS about
sent.
to go to that house.
I get
Dude, yeah.
sent. Go ahead.
I just want to say this is
Yeah.
Just so we're here. Ryden is 14,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I was wondering how close in age Raiden is. Raiden, for those of you that are not familiar with the Unsub guys, Raiden is Eli's son. And Raiden is based on the brief videos I've seen of him when he's doing unsub charity promotional stuff for autism, Raiden looks to be severely autistic, or at least on the higher end of moderate to severe, between moderate and severe. He's at least on the higher end of that. So Eli knows autism. Just like someone in my family is realist. The person in my family that is autistic is really fucking close to this age too. Like is in a similar age group as this missing child, and they are severely autistic. So that's why that's why I was like, oh, this is gonna fucking hit me hard. So yeah, the idea that these parents have not taken pictures of their autistic child when he's done some great accomplishments, that's got warning bells going off, honestly. Well, Cortana, okay, so as a parent, you'd end up taking a lot of photos in the early years as kids change. A lot of them go through a lot of phases. True, but Cortana, with autistic parents, in my experience, when in my own family and knowing other families with autistic children, because of because the person in my family is autistic, which means I have met other families with your son is autistic, Cortana? And you haven't like taken I mean, no judge or anything, but you haven't taken photos of like great accomplishments that he's done like over the years? Like when he's like gone into new phases and like, graduating school or anything like that. Oh, and so it's a very okay, Cortana's understandable. Okay, if it's incredibly hard to get your child to take photos, understandable. Okay, like they have a problem with getting their photo taken. Yes, understandable. I know. I do know that some. Yep, the flashes are painful due to the sensory overload. Okay, understandable. Absolutely understandable. Then why, in your particular taste, why you have not taken a lot of photos because of the sensory overload. With your child's particular sensitivity, the way it is manifested. Yes. Okay. Noise at an event to break down. Yes, absolutely. And physical contact, like I mentioned before. Some autistic individuals have a very adverse reaction to physical contact. They do not like being touched. So it all depends on the individual, which that's why I'm not going like whole hog saying that, like, not like Ethan was saying, like CPS might need to visit this home. It's like, well, hold up, this is autism. I think Eli might bring up some of the similar points that you have made, Cortana's, like we have been discussing here, that when it comes to autism, it's not so simple. When it comes to certain things that people take, that neurotypical people take for granted, it's not as simplistic as a thing for autistic individuals. And I'm hoping Eli brings that up, like maybe he has adverse reactions to someone trying to take his photo. Maybe that's a sort of like a sensory trigger for him in some way. We'll see.
Just so we're here, Ryden is 14.
Yeah.
And on my desk is a photo of when he's 4, looking at me. I'm holding it up to the camera right now.
That's all they had.
Very disappointed and autistic at me.
That's all they had. They had the
God.
Olin Mills 4-year-old blue background school photo of this kid. And that was it, in a sweatshirt. And they're like, you can use this, just put a description out with them. And we're like, that's not going to work. A photo of a 4-year-old and then saying, look out for Jeremy. This is 10 years ago. He's 14. This is what he used to look like 10 years ago.
Hunter,
he's
I
now
might.
6 foot.
Hunter, do me a favor. While we're watching this, throw a link to his channel in stream chat, in the stream chat general on Discord. Can you throw a link to his channel there for me?
480 pounds of autism wandering around the street. That doesn't work. So we're like, how the f- do we get how do these people not have a photo of the kid? Nothing in the digital world? Nothing?
He might have looked like this. It's like, how long's he been missing? Like a decade?
Right?
No, a week. One week.
We talked about using, I shit you not, Grok and ChatGPT to try and age the photo to 14 so he had something. But even then we're like, we can't, but it's not going to be him. We asked.
No. MK, Rich was on a good path there. Like, they come on, use the photo and get Grok to age up the photo, show the aged up photo to the parents to go, how accurate is this? And if the parents go, yeah, that's accurate, then you can use that. That's actually not a terrible idea given the circumstances. Oh yes, AI approximation can vary, right? But that's what I'm saying. Use the AI to age up the photo and then show that aged up photo that the AI does. Show that to the parents and say, how accurate is this? Is this accurate? And if the parents go, yeah, that's accurate, fucking use it. It works.
Them. All right, he's 14. What's his birthday?
Oh my God.
No.
Nobody knew his birthday.
Okay. Okay. We have just gone into another fucking universe. This is no longer, we have an autistic child and he has issues with getting his photo taken. We are way beyond that. Oh, and I need to turn that off. Thank you, Pocket Sands. We are.
NANI?
Why do we not know the child's birthday? it bumps up. Yes, that's the next question. If they don't know his birthday, how the fuck do you know he's 14? Mike, yes. Now the question is this actually your child? Oh, Rich's spidey sense must have been screaming at him at this point, like, oh, am I looking at a trafficking situation right now? This is a fucking field of red flags right now. Not knowing your own child's birthday is a fucking field of flags. Okay, this is the Olympic opening ceremony march of red flags right now.
Are these his real parents?
And grandparents. We've got a missing person with autism who runs away frequently. Frequently. You think this wouldn't be their first time. And they don't have a photo of him for the past decade, and they can't remember his birthday.
Do they know his name?
Barely.
Did they? How long did?
Eli's tism. Eli's own tism right now is like probably fucking raging. He's probably like, what the actual fuck? He's starting to short circuit. Eli's brain is starting to short circuit because as the father of an autistic child himself, he's like, how the fuck is this even possible? How the fuck is it even possible that you have a child like, again, and Cortana's, in a differentiation from your situation, this child frequently runs away. So as a matter of course, in safety, if the child frequently runs away, you would want to have a current up-to-date photo. Even if this kid doesn't really jam with getting his photo taken, if he's running away frequently, you still get that fucking photo. Get a candid photo. Even if he's like sitting on the couch playing with a tablet or something, even taking a candid photo. Just something. They don't have that, and they don't know his birthday. What the actual fuck?
Take for them to realize and be like, shit, or what's his name? The one thing, the kid, he's not here. How long did that take?
It's not very tardy in here right now.
The kid? Yeah. It took him
Holy shit.
Yeah, it took him a couple hours, and then it took us till the end of the night, and he was recovered. I don't know how. I honestly
I remember my son ran out of his primary school completely obstructed. Literally, the only thing that stopped him was he ran into his aunt in the parking lot. Wait, Cortanus, is this frequent for him? Is this a frequent occurrence of him just, like, running? Not because he's, like, upset and, like trying to run away from home or something, but, like, I know autism. They have, many autistic kids have, like, zero sense of danger, and they just, like, something sparks their attention and they just fucking go. I wholly appreciate that. Is this an often occurrence for him? Like, does this happen frequently? Because, like, if it does, no, he grew up at 13. Yes, okay, so, yes, he grew up at 13. Cortanus, feel you. I feel you. Okay, why is my alert still on? I turned them off. Cronies, thank you for the follow. Yes, and Cortanus, I know they can grow out of it. Once they reach like the early to mid-teens. I wasn't sure if your child grew out of it or not. That's why I was asking. Yeah, and I'm very aware that's an autism thing with the running. Trust me, I have extremely personal experience. Oh yes, Cortanus. A lot, yes. Therapy. What they call in Canada? Oh crap! It's been a while. Cortez, ABA? Assisted behavior analysis therapy? But it's like, I remember it was ABA therapy for the person in my family who's autistic. They have therapy up until age, what was it? I want to say I believe that they had ABA therapy until 4th or 5th grade, perhaps. But it's also just the family. Vespasian? No, however, it's about 6 to 8 different ones. Okay, Cortana. Yeah, I mean, you're U.S., correct, Cortana? It's like Canadian, U.S. Obviously the programs are much different. This passing, kinda. No. Hunter, no. I get what Vespasian is saying, and he's not off base here. You can. There are bracelets that are made that can house like trackers, like air tags, or like necklaces that can house air tags. The problem, and it's not a bad idea. The problem is many autistic individuals might have a problem wearing a bracelet or a necklace or something like that. They may feel uncomfortable for them. So if they're comfortable with it, yeah, they can break too easily. The air tag was like one example. There are multiple kind of like air trackers out there that could be an option. Like you can even like maybe not necessarily put it in their shoes, but like if they're going to school, you can put it in their backpack. So the clothes. No, Colton, that won't work. You know why? Because autistic individuals are very sensitive to changes in their clothing, because they a great deal of autistic people have tactile sensitivity, and if you sew an air tag into the clothes, they will notice and they will go, I don't like this. I'm not going to wear this, because it feels different, because they can feel the air tag much more keenly than a neurotypical person can. The air tag might have, the air tag's probably not waterproof, so yeah, it would need to be brewed. It's just now, I mean, now you guys realize, for those of you that don't have experience with this, now you realize what parents of autistic children have to contend with, the challenges that they face with raising an autistic child. There are so many challenges, so many concerns, and so many worries that so many people don't know about. Just like my sister's severely sick, autistic, ran away from elementary school completely on obstruction, told the officer that picked her up that she was headed home. Interestingly enough, she was heading in the right direction. That's interesting, Kevin. Core, it's not a matter of coddling. It's not. This is not your understandably, you're kind of thinking along the lines of neurotypical, and you're looking at this as coddling. It's not the same thing. The people that are autistic, their brains are wired in a completely different way from a neurotypical individual. So it's not coddling. It's you basically have to try and acclimate yourself to their methodology of thinking. An autistic person, particularly it's a severely autistic person, doesn't think the same way a neurotypical person thinks. A neurotypical person might think, okay, I have to get up and I have to go downstairs and I have to make breakfast. So I have to get up out of the bed. I have to walk down if you're in a 2-story building, I have to walk down the stairs. I have to walk into the kitchen. I have to get the bowl out of the cupboard. I have to get the cereal out of the cupboard, get the milk, pour them all together, and then put them all back. That's how a neurotypical person might think of doing that process. An autistic person, they get up, their thought process might be, okay, I'm getting up. Oh, it's really bright. Okay, this isn't good. So now I have to turn this way and I have to walk in this very specific way because it's so bright, because this is how I always do it. And now when I get out to the stairs, okay, I have to make sure that I'm only walking on the stairs in this very specific manner, in this very exact spot. And once I get down to the stairs, I have to look upstairs to see where I came back from, because that feels right to my brain. And then I've got to make my way into the kitchen, but while I'm there, I might need to stop and look out the window because I want to see that crow that is always in the trees outside the window every morning, because that soothes the brain. And then make my way to the kitchen, and then I have to find just the exact right bowl, making sure it's positioned in this way. Like, you get the idea. An autistic person's brain doesn't work like a neurotypical's one. So it's not coddling. It's not coddling. It's you work with the autistic person, you try and teach them and say, like, you cannot do this. And you repeat it over and over and over again. And the best way I can describe it is how an autistic person can learn proper behaviors about something is basically repetition. And the autistic person's brain. Oh, shoot. Hang on. I have to switch headphones. God, my battery's low. Hang on. 2 seconds. Fortunately, I have a spare. Okay, that's work. So yeah, a how to do something. Can't do this or you can't do that. The way that they learn how to do this is repetition, and eventually their brain. Okay, I think we're still at. Okay. Their brain simply just eventually accepts it. That's how it works. Eventually, their brain simply accepts it and it decides, okay, we're going to go ahead and do it this way now. That's just how autism works. That's it. That's how it works. And it's not coddling. I can understand how it might be perceived as coddling. I do. I can certainly appreciate it. But it's not coddling. It's just you have to change up and adapt how you teach someone who is autistic, particularly if they are severely autistic. That's all. And yeah. All right, Chad, I'm trying to switch out my headphones because my old headphones crapped out on me. Give me 2 seconds. We'll continue. Through okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. There you go. Okay. Sorry about that. Yes. Scuff screen is normal. I had to switch over to my backup headphones. All right. Hopefully I will be able to hear it. I hope I'll be able to hear this. So let's continue, shall we?
I don't know how. Somebody picked him up, and I think he said he was lost or something. It was by the grace of God. He was just like, I'm tired of running away now. And just showed up.
What did the parent, like, how do you hand the kid back to the parents? You're like, here.
Like, were the parents at least embarrassed? Like, was there a point in the conversation where they realized that they were idiots?
If I was there, there would have been. I'm sure the other people were professional. I would have been professional and been like, hey, are you sure he's the only one with like something going on up here? Because you guys seem to be defective. Take a photo of your kid.
One in a
I hate to say it, he's not wrong. Like, if if this kid is known to be a runner, even take just like a candid one. Um, Autism kind of a schedule thing to me, at least. It is, I have to do this at this time or it throws me off never. Cheat day, same. Same. Like, I have a pattern of how I will do things. Even with work, I have like a pattern. And if I don't follow that pattern, it totally fucks me up. I am the exact same way. It's with, getting up like a morning routine, and when I'm at work. If I'm doing my work, I have a routine or a methodology in my head of how work should be done. And this happened to me so many times at my old work, and it pissed me off so much. If they change up my routine and they're like, okay, we need to do this, and it's like veers off of my routine, it fucks me up for a while. It takes me a while to reorient my brain to get into this temporary new routine. Whoa. So yeah, 100%, I get it. I do. And a lot of autistic people are that way too. A lot of autistic people, they have their routines. And if you fuck with the routine, and this could be like mini routines as well. This is not just like full day routines. This is like mini routines. Like the person in my family who is severely autistic will not go to bed without brushing their teeth. Whenever they've come to visit me, and it's like, okay, it's time to go to bed, they say, I gotta brush my teeth. And sometimes it's late, and I'll say, no, it's a little late. Well, you can brush your teeth in the morning. And they'll go, no, I have to brush my teeth now. Have to do it. And they will like push past me to go into the bathroom to brush their teeth. It's something that they have to do. It's so it's sometimes like mini routines that if you try and get them off of that, it messes them up. So YouTube, Nick, very, very, very often, like I'm going to say 90 to 99% of the time, people with autism have OCD. That is, autism is kind of sort of synonymous with OCD. I have heard that there's talk about trying to include OCD on the autism spectrum. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I would say the majority of, at minimum, severely autistic individuals do have OCD. That is common, very common.
Dude, again, a decade of not having a single photo. Nick, how many photos?
Hunter, not necessarily. OCD is not tics like Tourette's. OCD is pattern behavior. It's, OCD is an obsessive compulsive. So, for example, you drop some pens on the floor, you have to count those pens before you pick them up. If you pick them up before you've counted them, your brain kicks into overdrive and basically says the world is going to end if you don't count those pens. OCD is like every time that you walk down the stairs of your home, you have to touch the bottom part of the rail of the banister every single time. And if you do not do it, your brain's going to tell you the world's going to come to an end. That's OCD. It's not a tick. It's not a tick like Tourette's. It's not.
Again, a decade of not having a single photo.
Kinda, sorta, Revan.
Nick,
Kinda.
how many photos are both your kids right now on your phone?
Too many to count. If I deleted on my phone, it'd be physically lighter.
His phone doesn't count like photos and pixels. It counts it in pounds. I've got 1.5.
Yeah, Hunter, like, it's behaviors, yes. Tics and behaviors are two different things. A tic is a physical behavior. a physical gesture, like what we've seen with Ethan from age 3. You know, he has Tourette's. We've seen him with where he'll like twitch, or the coughing we heard where he was like forcibly making himself go every once in a while. He was forcing himself to cough every once in a while. Those are Tourette's tics. OCD is behavioral patterns. So again, the counting, needing to physically touch something, everything you go past it. It's not so much the uncontrollable not the uncontrollable physicality like you would get with a tic. It's more of a calming thing where like a tic is basically something you can't control. You do it without wanting to. It's not the same thing as like, oh, I have to do this. It's like, no, your brain makes you do it automatically, and you have no idea it's even happening in the first place. Whereas with OCD, your brain says you have to do this or bad things are going to happen. That's the difference really between tics like with Tourette's and OCD behaviors. Tourette's it just happens. Your brain makes your body do it and you don't even know it's happening. It just does it. OCD is your brain says, do this or the world ends. And because you basically have no choice but to comply with it because your brain is telling you to do it or the world will end. That's the difference.
Doesn't count like photos in pixels. It counts it in pounds. I've got 1.5 pounds of photos in my phone.
Legit.
Jesus.
My wife's is even worse. She can't have the base model iPhone because she has so many pictures on her phone.
And even if you got a new
Base
phone,
Hannah.
you probably have your phone or the photos, at least, or some of them, hanging up in your house or backed up on a hard drive or in the cloud.
They get transferred to the new phone.
Photos.
Yeah.
For God's sake, yeah. What I was saying before I went off on my tangent, is like, if you know your child has a problem with running away, take a candid photo. Turn off the shutter sound on your phone and take a literal candid photo of your child when he is in bed or when he's sitting on the couch playing with his tablet. Just take a candid photo so you have something. Like, act like you're using your phone, like you're scrolling on something when you're standing in front of them, but in reality, you have the camera app up and you just take the photo. Yeah, no flash, turn the flash off, turn the shutter sound off, pretend like you're scrolling through Twitter on your phone while you're standing in front of them, when in reality you have the camera app open, and just take a snapshot. That's all you gotta do. If your child has that much of an issue of getting their photo taken because of their level of autism. Yeah, you can take, Cortana, presumably, if the child has a problem with a photo getting taken, presumably the child would have a problem with video being taken as well. Well, and the school photo, maybe, Leo, maybe this particular child was having an issue with school photos. You know, the last photo they got was a school photo from when he was 4 years old. Maybe something happened and he had a problem and he refused to take school photos afterwards. In which case, you just literally take a candid photo every year. Just sneak a candid photo in there. Pretend you're using your phone for something else and sneak a candid photo.
Yeah, like,
how the fuck you can go to school and not get one?
If you lost your phone, you would still have photos of your children somewhere, would you not?
They're on a cloud. There's printed out pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had one printed out photo and 0 digital photos of their 14-year-old son.
A school yearbook? Nothing?
Nothing.
I don't even know if you would know, but how long was...
And by the way, that in conjunction with, what? In the family, knowing this child's birthday? Between the two of them, no photos and no fucking idea when this kid's birthday is. Red flag, red flag, red flag. I'm surprised we're not getting back to that.
Nothing.
I don't even know if you would know, but how long was he missing before they were like, huh. Yeah, that one that always talks about trains and hangs around here.
I'm not going to lie. I thought this story was building up to you guys found him at a train yard. I thought for sure that's where the story was going.
Chat, I'm gonna drop some lore on you. I'm about to drop some fucking lore on you, chat. Not all autistic people love trains. Not all of them do. Some do. Some fit the stereotype, but not every person with autism has this obscene fascination with trains. They don't. The person in my family who is autistic doesn't have a thing for trains. They like trains fine, but it's not an obsession. It doesn't necessarily need to be dinos either, Kevin. It doesn't. Like the person in my family who's autistic is like obsessed with oh, what are they called? Oh, I forget the name of it. It's a kids thing. It's like it's this. Well, right now, the person in my family who's autistic currently is obsessed with like the animatronics, like Five Nights at Freddy's and Chuck E. Cheese.
Autism isn't trains. It's aviation, rocketry, meteorology, and chemistry. I fucking
There you
love
go.
science.
There you go, Tornado. Are you Sheldon? Yeah, I mean, it's like person in my family is autistic. They currently love animatronics like Five Nights at Freddy's and like Chuck E. Cheese has been a big thing lately. So everybody, well, and Rapsack, they played into the whole autistic people like trains thing with that. That's why Sheldon liked trains.
That's why it's so entertaining, because you're like, oh, a missing kid. Where was he found? You're like, oh, wait, his parents are horrible. Oh.
Yeah.
They don't have any photographic evidence that the child is theirs at all? No. And they don't know the birth date. That is.
Wait, hang on. I missed the first part of that. Hang on.
I thought this story was building up to you guys found him at a train yard. I thought for sure that's where the story was going.
That's why it's so entertaining, because you're like, oh, a missing kid. Where was he found? You're like, oh, wait, his parents are horrible. Oh.
Yeah.
They don't have any photographic evidence that the child is theirs at all? No. And they don't know the birth date. That is correct.
I just like this right now as this conversation. I just got a call as we're closing this out. Right in. It said FaceTime audio right in. I was like, what the heck? Answered really quick. And I was like, hello? He's like, I just went poop. I was like, okay. Like, there is no toilet paper or wipes. I was like, do you want help? He's like, yes, please, thank you. And he hung up on me. It was a perfect time to close this bitch out.
There you go.
Face riding.
The iPad ready to make sure that it's clean.
Nick, do the honors.
Oh, that's wild. That was fucking wild. I'm so glad it had a happy ending. I'm glad it had a happy ending. I need some closure on this fucking family, though. I absolutely need closure on this fucking family. Because, like, what the... They don't have a picture of him. They don't know his fucking birthday. I need some closure on this. Rich, at least put something on Twitter. Like, what the fuck happened with this family? How is it possible they don't even know his birthday? We need closure.